Hi guys, welcome to the first of many home learning lessons, home video lessons, whatever you want to call it. I have thought it'd be a fun idea to escape the reality of the world and do something based around the rainforest. So I'm going to read you part of a book called Rainforest Calling. It's about a little girl called Daisy whose teacher gives her special permission to log on some webcams in South America and learn all about the rainforest. But she gets an unlikely video caller with a very serious problem, and they need to try and solve it together. Or they try and solve it as best they can. So I'm going to read you first part of the story, and then I'm going to ask you some questions about it, and you can answer those questions as best you can. And then, when you've answered the questions, take a photo of them and send the photo to me via email at ben.taylor@highcrags.staracademies.org, and I'll have a look at them. If you can't do that, just save them and I'll give you the answers next week, and you can kind of self-mark them. Okay, so it's set out in a diary format. So Daisy Field, she's in class 4JC, and this is her Rainforest journal. So it's Monday the 24th of March, 9:50 a.m. I wonder if the person who gave the rainforest its name had ever actually been there. Surely if they had, they'd have called it the plant forest instead. Mrs. Curtis, my teacher, told us that more than 2/3 of the world's plant species live in the rainforest environments. That's more than 80,000 different plants. There's no way that I'm telling my Grandma Wilkins that. She'd be on the first plane to Brazil with her lucky gardening gloves because she really loves plants. Do you know, she once told me that she might love plants even more than she loves my mum? Don't worry, I haven't told my mum that. That's one of the reasons why I volunteered for this project, so I could tell my grandma all about the plants. Mrs. Curtis wanted one of us to spend a whole week looking at some webcams in the Amazonian rainforest. I put my hand up straight away. My best friend Millie said that the last time she'd seen anything move as fast as my arm was when someone told her daft brother that the bank was giving away free money. Who wouldn't volunteer to spend a whole week looking at the Amazon? I think that it'd be really good spotting all the different plants and animals. Oh, pardon me. As soon as Mrs. Curtis looked at me, I knew that I hadn't been picked. She had the same expression on her face that she uses to tell us that we've got a maths question wrong, as she said, "Maybe next time, Daisy." Jack Walters got picked instead, but he changed his mind when he found out that we were only allowed to look at the webcams during breaks and lunch times. He said there was no way that he was going to miss playing football in the playground. So Mrs. Curtis ended up choosing me anyway. I don't mind having to do normal lessons. I got 9 out of 10 on my spellings last week. Still can't spell rhinoceroses though. Mrs. Curtis said that I have to write a journal entry to tell the rest of the class what I've seen on the webcams. I haven't written a journal before. The only things I write at home are lists of my favourite songs and things I want for Christmas. But Mrs. Curtis said not to worry and that just to write as I like to speak. I think that should make it easier. A Green Conversation charity set up the webcams a few years ago. I'm not actually sure what a green conversation is, or a red, or a yellow, or a pink conversation either. And when Mrs. Curtis logged on with her laptop, she showed me that we can move the webcams with the arrows on the keyboard. If I want to move left, or right, up, or down, I just press the arrows. I can even move I can move from camera to camera so that I can explore each layer of the rainforest. Mrs. Curtis said the Amazon rainforest is over 5,000 miles away from our school, and yet I can still move the lenses in any direction I want. Sometimes technology is amazing, like this. I'd love to spend all my time looking for the monkeys, or even a Bigfoot. My dad says that scientists claim there are over 5 million animal species waiting to be discovered in the world, and most of those probably live in the rainforest. He wants me to keep my eyes peeled for a Bigfoot, because he says, "Daisy, that'll be like winning the lottery." Anyway, my dad thinks he knows lots about the rainforest. I think that he might have read the same books as Mrs. Curtis, because they both said that a lot of what we take for granted comes from the rainforest. Those beans that they use to make chocolate come from there, and pineapples too, plus the ginger biscuit that goes into yummy biscuits, even rubber for the soles of my trainers. Okay, so I'm now going to ask you some questions. You can write the questions down, so pause it after each question's been asked, write the question down, and then you can answer the questions, and I will give you the answers next week, or like I say, you can email me the answers once you have been done. So, question 1. Which of these characters, name 2 of the characters that are in Daisy's class. Or 2. Question 2. How do Jack and Daisy react differently to giving up their break times to do the Rainforest project? Question 3. What 2 things does Daisy say that she normally writes at home? Question 4. Write down 2 types of food or ingredients that come from the rainforest and are mentioned in the text. Question 5. What is the purpose of Daisy's journal? Question 6. How many spellings did Daisy get correct on her spelling test? Question 7, I think. I can't remember. I keep pausing it. Question 7. What kind of relationship do you think Daisy has with her grandma? You need to use evidence from the text to support this answer. And question 8. Summarise the text in 30 words or less. Okay, so that's the questions for this week. Any other activities that you could do if you wanted to do something else based around the rainforest? There are a couple of ideas I have for you. You could draw a picture of a Amazonian creature from the Amazonian rainforest. It could be anything, just have a look on the internet to find out the different creatures that you can find in there. You could do a fact file about that animal. That would be good. You could write a story as though it's one of the animals from the Amazon rainforest. Or you could create your own rainforest at home using junk materials. Look in your recycling bin, see what you can find, and go into the garden and get different pieces of grass and leaves to try and make your own model of the Amazonian rainforest. But yeah, that's it for this week. So yeah, I hope you are all staying safe. Make sure you're washing your hands and making sure you're being careful when you're outside. Hopefully I'll see you all again soon. And yeah, that's all. Today is also my birthday, so this is my birthday present to you all. Aren't you lucky? Anyway, I hope you're fine, having a good time at home, not missing me too much, and I will speak to you again soon. Okay, bye.